It is the middle of June, the middle of Pride Month, and Kohl's is having a hard time getting its LGBTQ gear off of its shelves, it's been reported. The department store heavily discounting the merchandise to get it moving, offering even up to 60% off of it. Shoppers apparently, or some are assuming, unimpressed with the rainbow-clad adult clothing and even onesies for infants that say Happy Pride. Kohl's offering the discounts after rival Target gave in to pressure and removed some of its Pride collection from their stores after a major boycott that happened against Target, causing them to lose millions of dollars in profits. Jacquie Jordan is Republican strategist and host of Front and Center with Jacquie Jordan. We appreciate you coming back on here. Obviously, there's been a lot of pushback. It's seemingly this year more than any other year. You've seen that with the Dodgers baseball game. You've seen it with Target, obviously. Bud Light, Dylan Mulvaney controversy with that. Bud Light continues to lose value there. And now it appears that Kohl's is having somewhat of an issue here. What do you think is different about this year that has so many people pushing back?
Well, great question, Sean and Emma. What I think is, they said go woke, go broke. Well, I feel like woke is a joke at this point, and they keep shoving. It's one thing to present trends, because that's what stores do, marketing does. They present trends. But here, what we're pushing back against, and what Americans are pushing back against, and customers are pushing back against, is an agenda. They don't want an agenda sold to them. They don't mind a trend. We've all done fashion trends. I'm Generation X, and we know all sorts of bad trends. But to have this agenda continually pushed upon us is, and it's very interesting, because if you take what was pushed on us in the stores as well with COVID, there was a political push around that too. Now we're out of COVID. Now we're looking at another agenda that's kind of being like forced upon us, and people are just tired of it. Kohl's and Target are places that moms take their kids and they just want their the necessities. With strollers, bathing suits for the summer for the kids, summer trunks. They don't. This is I think Americans have had enough.
And in Florida, of course, we've seen the Parental Rights and Education Bill, which essentially says we don't need to be talking about sexual orientation with our children in the classroom.
And we watched how that got distorted in the media.
Absolutely, of course.
Yeah, don't say gay is what they call it.
Right. It was rebranded.
Yes.
And media ran with it. But to your point, Jacquie, the idea that parents just want to go to Target and pick up what they need for their household without having to talk about sexual orientation with their children.
Exactly.
Tell me about the role consumers and the choices they make and the impact that's had.
That's a great question, Emma, because what I really feel excited about from a consumer perspective, especially when we saw what happened with Bud Light, is that now it was a choice. People got to buy from microbrews, mom and pop brews that don't usually get the distribution that these big stores like Pepsi Cola and other stores like that have, because that's that's fought over real estate in the stores. So believe it or not, when we vote with our dollar, we have a lot more power, so I actually love seeing what's happening with some of these big brands. But we have to also remember too that the credit, these big corporations are not all fully American owned, and they're getting credits for diversity and inclusion, and these CEOs are getting bonused out for doing this. So even though they're losing money on the retail side, the money still is getting passed through.
Yeah, it was really enlightening for me, honestly, to see the impact of the Bud Light boycott, and just it's a reminder of how much power Americans can really have.
Absolutely. And supporting our small businesses, knowing who our supply chain is, knowing who we're buying from, knowing what the product is. That's how I believe we're going to thrive as a country going forward.
Yeah, good insight there. Positive outlook. Always appreciate that. Jacquie Jordan, thank you very much.